Hi and welcome to this 60-minute yoga practice. Our intention for the yoga practice is around softening. So I'm bringing this word softening in, and with that word we can also think of adaptability and change. So we have some structure, but then we can soften around the structure. So the element that we are tuning to for this practice is water. Should have said that first. The element is water, and then the intention around that element is softening. And we can think of water as this beautiful, the properties of water being able to move and change and flow and adapt, and water will always find its way. So to some extent, adaptability and thinking around the word change and coping with change. So sacral chakra, we will bring in the physical focus around the lower belly. So the sacral chakras, that's Svadhisthana with the water element. So we will weave that in throughout the practice and bring in some twists as well. So quite a lot of twists into the practice, which really help us kind of engage with some of the organs like the kidneys. So yeah, a really beautiful practice this evening around the element of water. So we're going to begin in a seated position. You might want to have some blocks handy, and maybe a strap is also a good idea, just as the option to use it in twists. And come into Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose, this is sometimes called. So pressing the soles of the feet together and allowing the knees to drop out to the side. And you could just rest your hands wherever you like, maybe on the thighs or around the ankles, around the feet, or you might want to hold and press the hands into the lower belly to create some connection and awareness to this area. An invitation to bring your senses inwards. So either by closing the eyes if that works for you, or perhaps just having a soft gaze on one spot. Either way, feeling a sense of softening around the eyes, the corners of the eyes, and the backs of the eyes. And coming back to the word softening, starting to see if you can release some tension around the thighs and the hips just by really relaxing the legs. And tuning into the base of your posture, your sit bones as they make connection with the earth. And let's take some really cleansing breaths. So a deep breath in through the nose and lifting up your chest bone as you do this. And then a big sigh out through the mouth. You can make that as vocal as you like, breathing in to feel that sense of lifting. Opening the mouth and sighing out as you soften. Two more like that, breathing in, getting a sense on the inhale that we are getting this uplifting energy. And then a big sigh out through the mouth. And another one, last one like that, breathing in. And then exhaling, big sigh out through the mouth, making that as vocal as you like. And begin here to start bouncing the knees gently. So you might start really small, just giving a little bounce to the knees and making that bigger if that feels good. Just creating some space around the hips, the inner thighs, the groin. And continue just a soft, easy breath. Nothing that takes too much effort. Engaging in Ujjayi breath, a soft Ujjayi breath, otherwise known as oceanic breath, making that slight whispering sound. And slowly making the bounces of the knees just a little bit smaller and smaller and smaller until you come to stillness. Taking a little moment to drop the awareness down to your lower belly. And on your in-breaths, allow the belly to softly fill up. And perhaps inflating very gently like a balloon. And on your exhales, gently bringing the belly button back towards the spine. So just feel the belly move really gently as you breathe. Almost coming in and out like a wave. And from here, help the thighs slowly back in. And then we're going to come down onto the back and engage with the lower belly through some pelvic tilts. So come down to lying on your back with the knees bent and the feet underneath the knees. Arms could be alongside your body, or you might lay the hands on the lower belly here. And we're not lifting the hips off the ground at all, but it's almost like we're doing a cat-cow movement, but lying down. You can think of it like that. So on your inhale, making this arch in your lower back. So lift the belly button up, the tailbone curls downwards. And you make this curve, this gap underneath your lower back. And then on an exhale, press the belly button back down towards the spine, curl tailbone upwards. So that's the movement. Inhaling, taking the tailbone to tilt downwards as you lift belly button. And exhaling, pressing lower back down, curl tailbone up, feel a squeeze in the glutes. So inhaling as you arch the spine, lift the belly button. You'll feel your shoulders travel downwards a little bit, and then exhale as the shoulders travel back upwards and you press the lower back down. Let's do 4 more of those. Inhaling, arching. And exhaling, press lower belly, sacrum down into the ground. Breathing in to arch. And breathing out to press lower back down, curl tailbone up. 2 more, inhale. And exhale, take it the other way, squeeze the glutes. Last one, inhale, create that gap. And exhale as you press lower back down, squeeze the glutes, press feet down to the ground. And inhale, come back to center. And then taking it a little further with the abs. Wrap the right leg, so cross the right leg over the left thigh. And then take the right hand and place it onto the top of your right thigh. So fingers facing up towards the knee. And then cover with the left hand. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press the hands into the thigh, and the thighs are pressing back into the hands. You've got this force. And then press lower back down into the ground as you do this. So that's the movement. Inhale as you release the hands, or release the pressure of the hands. And exhale, press hands into the thigh, thigh into the hands, belly button down towards the spine. Inhale as you release that pressure. One more there. Exhale as you press hands into the thigh, thighs into the hands. Feel your core activate, and then inhale as you release. And now lifting the left foot off, keep the cross of the legs, lift the left foot off and interlace your fingers behind the left thigh and just hug the knees into your chest. Maybe having a rotation of the ankles as you're here in one direction and then the other. Releasing the hands, keeping the cross of the legs, dropping left foot back down, and then rotate the legs over to the left, opening out the right arm if you've got space. It's a little spinal twist. And keep inviting the breath to take up more space in a soft way. So breathing and perhaps feeling some expansion around the right side of your rib cage. And welcome in any sighs, any noises that you want to make, any yawns. And then bringing the knees back to the center, unwrap the right leg, and we'll do this on the other side. So cross left thigh over the right. Press the left hand, place it on the top of the left thigh, and then cover with the right hand. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, press hands to the thigh and the thighs back into the hand. And then pull lower belly down towards the mat. Inhaling as you release the pressure. And then exhale, press hands to the thigh, thighs to the hands. And squeeze your inner thighs together as you do this. Inhale to release the pressure. Exhale as you go again. Press hands to thigh, thigh to hands. Squeeze the sit bones inwards. And inhale to release the pressure. And now lifting the right foot off, interlace fingers and take the hand around the back of the right thigh, hugging the knees into your chest. Keeping the cross of the legs. Rotating in the ankles both ways. Releasing the right thigh, letting the right foot drop down, and then drop the knees over to the right. Opening out the left arm. Breathing into the left side of your rib cage, the left side of your chest. And finding places where you can soften. Maybe that is the right hand, the shoulder blades, the left arm and the left hand, and the face. Bringing the knees back to the center, unwrap left leg and hug both knees into your chest. Taking the feet back down underneath the knees, the arms alongside the body, And start to curl the tailbone up like we were doing before, squeezing your glutes. And then keep going, lift the hips off the mat this time and come into a bridge. Chin tucked to the chest, lifting through the hips as you press through the feet. So press the ground away to feel a little more lift in the hips. And just staying here for 2 more breaths. Breathing and being aware of the front of your body. And on your exhale, slowly coming down, upper back first, then mid back, then lower back, and the hips. Windscreen wiping the knees from side to side. And bringing the knees into the chest and rolling over one side or the other, using your hands to support you to come back up or come up and over onto all fours. So coming into tabletop, but now take the knees wide apart, maybe as wide as the mat, and bringing the big toes in and come into a child's pose, reaching the arms forwards. Make some space for the belly. And just taking a moment here to feel that movement of the breath, the rhythmic, the inhale, the expansion, and the exhale, the contraction, the deflation. And continuing to gently open in the hips. And making your way up, so lifting the head, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, bringing the knees underneath the hips. And let's just turn the left fingers out to the side. So turning them anti-clockwise out to the side, the left fingers. And then the right fingers, turn those clockwise out to the side. And just start to gently rock from side to side. Stretching through the wrists and the forearms. And notice any differences from one hand to the other, from one wrist to the other, from one forearm to the other. Nothing to change or fix or correct, just noticing little differences. And coming back to center and turning the fingers back to the front, and then moving yourself into downward facing dog. Tucking the toes and gently, slowly lifting the hips up. And beginning to make some what feel like fluid movements. So maybe you're moving as if you were underwater, where everything slows down because there's some resistance. Perhaps pedaling in the feet, or you might be twisting the hips from side to side, just using these slow movements to really feel different areas of the body. Some you might feel really aware of, others maybe not so aware, maybe others feel a little more distant.
And finding stillness for a moment in down dog, letting the head be heavy. Take a really deep breath in, feel the sides of the ribs expand. And then a long breath out. On an inhale, look forwards and take a little journey to the front of the mat. Maybe little baby steps or one big step followed by another. And come into a ragdoll, so taking the feet a little wider apart, take up a little more space. Space for the belly, upper body to hang. Arms dangling or taking hold of opposite elbows. Allowing the head to be really heavy here. And releasing the hands, the elbows, bringing the feet back underneath the hips. And taking a roll up the spine, so starting to really take that nice and slow. Again, moving underwater. Rolling and feeling the vertebrae of the spine unravel. And the head coming up last. Taking the arms above the head into Anjali Mudra prayer. And exhaling your hands down to your heart space. Take a little moment there. Come back to the intention of softening. So feel your feet on the ground. Feel the legs steady. And then travel your awareness up the central axis of your spine. On your inhales, lifting the chest bone slightly away from pubic bone. And then on the exhales, feeling this softening around that central structure. So the shoulders might drop a little bit more. The belly could feel softer as you breathe and you notice the movement of the belly in and out. And moving through some slow salutations here, inhaling and lifting the arms up. And exhaling to forward fold. We'll step the left leg back for lunge and lower the left knee down, padding out the knee for your comfort. If you've got something to hand, lowering the left knee. And on an inhale, lifting the arms up, coming into lunge. And again, that same feeling, structure, but then this softening around the structure. And allowing ourselves to do less, to stay here for longer in one asana. To soften between the ears, around the shoulders. And a small movement of tucking the pubic bone upwards towards the chest bone. On an exhale, take the left hand down inside the right foot. That could come to a block, so you could bring the ground to you. And then slowly start to unravel the right arm. Again, moving through water. Opening the right arm into a twist. Letting the left ear soften to the shoulder. Inhale, the right arm goes back. Keep softening ear to the shoulder for a little extra stretch. And on an exhale, sweep the arm all the way over as you extend the front leg. So press through the sole of the right foot for a bit of stability. And inhale, taking the arm back, rebending the right knee. And exhale as you come over with the arm and straighten the front leg. And then staying there, drop the right hand down, turn chest bone towards the right foot and come into a half split. And with the inhales, you might feel some awareness around the lower back, perhaps the back of the ribs. And on the exhales, pressing the right foot down, the top of the left foot down. Inhaling to rebend the right knee. And then we can heel toe that right foot around to come into a modified plank. So the knees down, the toes untucked, and we drop the hips forwards. So rather than being in this tabletop, shift forwards and curl the pubic bone up towards the chest bone. We're going to take a real kind of like undulating high to low plank. These feel really good. I'm loving these at the moment. So take a breath in. And then as you exhale, start to drop the thighs down. So it's like you're coming down in this fluid movement. The elbows start to bend as you lower down with the hips. And then feel the belly meet the earth. Then the ribs, then the chest. Really good. And on an inhale, low cobra, just a little lift of the chest bone. Breathing here, feeling the belly gently push against the earth. Intention to invite in some of that nurturing earth energy. On an exhale, making your way back into downward facing dog. Take your time. You might stretch through child's pose again. Ending up in downward facing dog when you're ready. Feel the equilibrium between the left hand, the right hand, the left foot, and the right foot. The 4 points, connecting with the ground. On an inhale, look forwards. The left foot steps through for lunge. You can give it a hand through, might heel toe it through, and find some padding for the right knee as you come down. Let the right knee come down. Breathe in to lift up into lunge. Keep tuning into that feeling that we are underwater. We're slowing down. There's no rush. Staying with the breath. Slow, steady Ujjayi breath. Getting the sense of your spine, this central axis. Connect a little deeper with that by, it's almost as if I were to say, squeeze the right knee towards the left heel. Does that make sense? I think it does. Squeeze the right knee sort of towards the left heel, so you've got this feeling of centering. And then
then soften in the other places. Soften between the shoulders, the face, the belly. On an exhale, dropping the right hand down. So inside the left foot, you could put that onto a block and bring the ground to you. And then again, moving slow, we're underwater, unraveling the left arm to come into your twist. Good. Pressing through the right hand for your stability and softening right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, left arm goes back behind you. Exhale as you sweep it all the way over and extend the front leg. And you can really press through the left big toe here to keep stable. And as you exhale, or is it inhale, rebend and take the arm back. And exhale as the arm comes over, extending the leg. One more there. Inhale, arm goes back, rebend left knee. And exhale as the arm sweeps over. We're still underwater, moving slow. And this time take left hand down to frame the left foot. Half split. And then rebending the left knee, this time stepping right foot to the front for forward fold. You could do that in stages, raising the right knee, maybe some little steps in or one step in, finding forward fold. Head and neck relaxes down. And inhale as you rise up again, moving through water here. Bring the hands above the head into prayer to your heart space. Inhale as you lift the arms, and exhale, make your forward fold down to the earth. Right foot steps back behind you for lunge, lowering the right knee down. Inhale as you slowly come up, and this time reaching the right arm up. We're going to come into a twist. And here the stability in the hips is really key. So sometimes we can be really quite flexible in the hips in some of these lunge twists. And I found out through my own lower back that if we over twist, you can really aggravate some, the SI joint around there. So staying like really stable over your hips, reach the right arm up, and then start to turn the torso to the left and bring the elbow, so you're only leaning forwards a little bit, and the hips are staying stable there. So hook the right elbow over the left, and then either prayer with the hands or making a fist with the right hand covering with the left. And another option here is if it's tricky or feels awkward to hook the elbow, you could place a block inside the foot and then open up that way. Left arm opens. There are different options. Staying in the twist, so feel that in your mid-back, the twist. Pressing down through the feet to feel the ground, to stay connected. Steady breath. And then very slowly and gently unravel from the twist. Heel toeing the left foot around, sliding it around and coming into modified plank. Taking that kind of beautiful undulating high to low. So you can start to lower the thighs down and then the hips, bending the elbows, keeping them close to the ribs. Lower the belly down, the ribs and the chest. Inhale, cobra. Get a sense of stretching the ribs forwards. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Reset in your down dog. Couple of deep breaths. And on an inhale, lunge, right foot steps through. So finding some padding for the left knee to drop it down there. And then coming back up for the lunge. Thinking about the hips being really stable here. So we're directly over the left knee, reaching the left arm up and start to turn your torso towards the right and then hook the left elbow over the right thigh. So just double, it's kind of what they call dosage. So just double check you're not like over stretching in the hips. The hips are stable. And we find the twist mid-back. Hands in prayer, or you might make a fist with the left hand and cover with the right. Either way, press the right hand into the left. Maybe feeling a slight lift of the torso. And steady, even breaths. So we're allowing some massage when we have the twists. We're allowing some massage of areas like the kidneys, the liver, the stomach. And all of these areas are quite common to hold fear. And so when we think about adaptability and change, it's often comes with a lot of fear. So breathing into that space where we're massaging around those areas where we can hold a lot of fear in the body. Lengthening your exhales. And then slowly unraveling from the twist. Framing the front foot, will come through to forward fold. Again, taking your time, doing that in stages, lifting the back knee and stepping the left foot in to join the right. Coming into forward fold. And then making that roll up the spine again, letting the arms dangle as you slowly roll up the spine. Head coming up last. Just take a few shoulder rolls here, front to back. And back to front. Coming to stillness for a moment. Taking a breath in as you lift the arms. Breath out as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So find some extension through that central axis, your spine. And exhale as you come back through the modified plank. Well, this is the option. I mean, if you, high to low, you might want to do this full plank, high to low, or the modification with the knees down and this invitation to kind of undulate down, the thighs coming down first, then the hips, then the belly. So we feel the body as we come all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Stretching lower ribs forwards.
And exhale. Move back through downward facing dog, maybe stretching back into child's pose on the way. And ending in downward facing dog together, breathing to fill up and exhaling to slowly empty out. And let the rhythm of the breath wash through your body like a cleansing rhythm. So one more little standing pose before we come back down onto the earth. So warrior one, inhale, left foot steps through. You can give it a hand through or heel toe it around and turn the back foot to an angle there. Inhaling, lifting up. So much like the twisted lunge, twisted warrior. So we bring the right arm up. And as you exhale, slowly bringing the right elbow to hook over the left thigh. Twisting warrior. So you get quite a stretch through the calf here as well. Making the hands into prayer or a fist. If it feels super awkward with that back foot in the warrior one position, you could spin the ball of the foot, you know. So you could spin it forwards if that feels better. So it can feel kind of strange doing twisted warrior for the first time. And again, feeling the twist in the lower back. Sorry, not lower back, mid back. Dropping the head to let it relax. And on your exhale, unraveling from the twist, the hands coming down, and then lower the right knee back down to come into a lizard here. So taking the left foot to the outer edge of the mat, maybe bringing it forwards a little bit, just explore the space, and then the hands inside the left thigh. And we're just here for a few breaths. You might be on the hands, or a really good option is to use blocks or something underneath, and maybe resting your forearms to find a little more space, a little more support. Bringing your focus inwards. Simply aware of the quality of the inhale and the quality of the exhale. Very slowly, so that's a much deeper lunge. Move slowly as you come out of this, sliding the left foot back or heel toeing it around and moving through the high to low plank, perhaps modified here. And that option to do that undulating as if you're moving through water, lowering yourself all the way down. Deep breath in as you come to cobra, lift chest bone. And exhale as you come back to downward facing dog. Press through the hands as you get a sense of lifting your tailbone upwards. Warrior one, inhale, right foot steps through this time. You give it a hand through, turn the back foot to an angle for warrior one legs, and then slowly make your way up. Nice, reaching left arm up this time. And then lean forwards, hook the left arm over the right thigh. Coming into prayer with the hands or making a fist. With the option of, you know, spinning the ball of the foot forwards if that feels better in the legs, in the back knee. So press the right hand against the left to get this sense of lifting your torso upwards slightly. And then as you exhale, it's almost like you're bringing your left shoulder to the front of the mat or in that direction. Pressing down through the feet for stability. And one side might feel wobblier than the other. And just noticing those little differences. Slowly unraveling from this, the hands down to support you as you come into lizard on this side. So we lower the left knee down, pad it out. And then bring the right foot to the outer edge of the mat, maybe a little forwards. Just explore the space. And then you could either be here on your hands or fingertips, or you could use a block or something similar to explore the space, maybe forearms down, resting on a couple of blocks or one block. Letting the head rest. And keeping your awareness around the hips and the lower belly. Sacral chakra, svadhisthana. Water element. Associated with the sacral chakra, associated with pleasure, with creativity. Almost like a vital energy, a vital life force. Sensuality, sexuality, expression, reproduction. And slowly, slowly help yourself out of this bit by bit. So it's quite a deep stretch for the hips. And again, sliding that right foot around or heel toeing it around. And coming back onto your shins for a moment before coming over onto one thigh or the other. And bring the legs around. So we come back to lying on the back. If you have two blocks or maybe one and a cushion or something like that, we'll come into something called waterfall, which I thought was quite apt for a water element. So this is often known as restorative pose, where we might put the flat edge of the block underneath the lower back and then you have the legs up. Waterfall, we're putting a little bit more under the lower back. So something like two blocks or one block, you might have a cushion on top of the block, just to give yourself a little bit more height, she says. And I don't have blocks with me at the moment, but you can be creative with what you use. So coming down onto the back, placing either two blocks or a block and a cushion or a bolster or something But it basically means that you can lift the legs up, you've lifted the hips a little higher, and there's this kind of sweet spot. I think that's why they call it waterfall. There's this kind of sweet spot where you feel like you can stay. If you've got a wall handy, obviously you're at home, and this can feel really good with the support of a wall as well. So having the legs up the wall. But the idea is to get the hips a little bit higher if you can. Waterfall. So the flow of blood making its way down the legs into the core, and its return to the heart and up to the brain. So with the inhale and the exhale here, we'll place our awareness on two areas. So for the inhale, the midbrain, so it's almost like at the level of your eyes, kind of around between the brows, but right inside, so the midbrain. And the second area is your lower belly. So taking a slow inhale, get a sense of the breath moving up to midbrain. It's almost like you're taking the breath all the way up to the midbrain. Having that little pause at that area. And then the long, slow exhale, like it's washing back down your body all the way to your belly. Deep down in your belly. So the inhale, imagine it traveling back up, all the way up to midbrain, pausing there, and then exhaling, washing back down, 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 lower belly. Slow breath in. Feeling like you're gathering some sort of vitality as you breathe in, all the way up to your midbrain. Resting your awareness at that spot, and then exhale, wash everything down, all the way down the body, down, 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 lower belly. And just do a few more like that in your own time with that awareness of the washing. It's like an inner cleaning of sorts. Start to bend the left knee, and then drop the left foot down. So one foot comes down. Bend the right knee and interlace fingers round the back of the right thigh. And as you press through the left foot, hug the right knee inwards. And we'll take that to the other side, so you can swap the legs, drop the right foot down, bend the left knee, hands behind the thigh, and press through the right foot. So it's like you're pressing the ground away as you hug the left knee in. And releasing the left thigh, let the left foot come back down, and then raise the hips up to remove whatever you've got underneath, your blocks or your cushions or whatever you had. Remove those now. And curl down the back, upper back comes down, mid back comes down, lower back, and the tailbone. Land the hips to the ground. Feel your sacrum make connection with the ground. And bring the knees together, windscreen wipe for a massage across that area. The sacrum, the joints either side of the sacrum, around the lower back, and the hips. Bringing the knees inwards to your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Pull yourself in closer. Feel the support of your arms around your legs. And feel held. Moving into Shavasana, the rest, the stillness, whether you're lying on your back or something I've been practicing for the last couple of weeks is a side Shavasana. It can be nice if you have a cushion or a bolster like I've got. It can be anything, and something maybe under the head like a cushion. So side Shavasana is also an invitation, something I'm exploring at the moment. Putting something between the thighs to have the hips feeling supported. And once you're there, scanning around your body to see if there's anything else you can do, even if it's just a fraction of a movement, to be more comfortable, and allow yourself to make those little adjustments. And silent Shavasana.
Gently, softly beginning to bring some awareness back. Noticing the parts of your body that are connecting with the earth, with the ground. Almost getting a sense that the ground is rising up to meet you, and you're softening down to meet the ground. My invitation always is, if you would like a longer Shavasana, if you have time for that and you would like to stay here, then please do take that time. And otherwise, if you're coming with me, then begin to make some little movements, perhaps rolling the head from one side to the other, as if you're looking over one shoulder and then the other, making little movements in your fingers, your toes, your wrists, your ankles. Perhaps a full body stretch. When you're ready, bringing the knees into the chest and hugging the knees, keeping hold of them as you roll to one side or the other. Supporting yourself up to a seat to close the practice together. Bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra, the prayer, and connecting thumbs to your heart space. And taking a deep breath in, feeling that washing of the breath up the body to the midbrain. And a long breath out as you bow the head down towards your heart, down towards your belly. The center of the Shakti energy, feminine energy. Gratitude for your practice, and gratitude for your body. And the sacred in me honors the sacred in each and every one of you. Namaste. And thank you for joining me this evening, whether you were here live or whether you were on a replay. I really appreciate your presence, your energy, and see you next time.